Shit, dude. Goddamn.
It's, I feel that, bro. I'm strapped here, though, bro.
Yeah, I got my coffee right on the floor, so I don't spill anything. You have your new goals?
Yeah, boy.
Oh, I haven't sent you mine.
Oh.
What was that? What was that sign?
Dude, I just sent mine to you 1 minute ago, bro. You gotta catch up.
Oh, bro, come on, bro. You sent them late. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Dude, I need a fucking break, bro, from just everything. I'm
You want to
getting
take this week off?
No. I'm just getting burnt out from the reading.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just sent mine. 7 goals, 13 goals. So yeah, I guess you've started the last few times. Maybe I could start with my last week.
Only if you ask like this.
Can I start with my week?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks. Let me know if I hope the audio is all fine and dandy.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Cool. Yeah, dude, 7.5 out of 14. I think the same thing happened again. Around Friday, I kind of just, I think, I can trace it down to, I think what happened. There was a couple of things, I think in trying to prioritize the reading, I disregarded other parts of my routine
Yeah.
that make me efficient and productive. The biggest one, the gym, right? I was like, you know what? Let me just not focus so much on the gym. Let me focus on the reading. But by not focusing on the gym, I completely fucked myself because I was low energy. I wasn't feeling good. Just a lot of it was like that. I guess we've talked about the golden domino, right?
Yeah.
So I think that happened. Number 2,
I just wanna jump in here, like,
go ahead.
because I know this is something that, yeah, I mean, usually I am victim to this more often. I don't necessarily recall a time where you were a victim to this sort of trap, right? Where we like almost over prioritize something to the detriment of everything else and then forget about everything. I remember when I was at Oxford, right? You were kind of clapping me for like, dude, you've had music on here for like a month. And it's like, you don't touch it. I'm like, my dissertation, dude, I got to crunch numbers, man.
No, I mean, that's happened to me with my resume for sure.
Yeah.
Right now with reaching out to people.
Well, it's happened, right? But I think not when you put like this super mega priority. It was never like the
Sure.
resume
Yeah,
is
yeah,
the
yeah.
most important thing
Yeah.
this week. So I see, and so I just want to jump in because I see things which should be very simple to execute on that got X's, and I'm wondering if this is also a result. Like you had an X on creatine every day, you had an X on reach out to people, and an X on gratitude journal, like something like creatine every day, right? This is a 2 minute affair.
Literally.
Is this something that you're like, oh, I'm not going to the gym, so I'm not going to be creatine loading? Or was it another like, oh, I'm only thinking about reading, so this thing creatine, which takes 2 minutes, the gratitude journal, which takes 10 minutes. The reach out to people is more difficult because it has all sort of baggage with it. But these other two goals, that's a combined 12 minutes per day, right? So is this because of the over prioritization, or
I don't know. I mean, I think it's because of I think so. It's not always clear what exactly went wrong, right? I think I'm getting. I know it seems so silly, but it's just when all you're supposed to be doing is reading
yeah,
and nothing else, to me, I'm very guilt prone. I'm somebody who harbors a lot of guilt just on a mundane basis, right? Like with normal stuff. Like if I'm not reading and I'm doing other things, I'll do the other thing, but I won't even be able to enjoy it because I'm like, oh, I should be reading. Um, I had a couple of things like, I mean, yeah, I guess fucking excuses. I don't know. Like, life getting in the way, like I had so Monday worked on a little bit of music. Um, I overslept a little bit on Monday because the day prior, I guess I hadn't slept super well. I had
Right,
a
right.
big doctor's appointment on Wednesday in the morning. That kind of messes up again my sort of routine. Then at some point, I got in a little bit of a scuffle with with the family. So that also took time. And it's same thing we were talking about last week, right? Where, it's difficult for me to kind of stop this internal dialogue. Am I freezing up on you?
Yes,
I am. Okay. Well, I can't do much about
but
it.
it was just happening the past 7, 8 seconds. I was wondering if that's my end or your end.
Uh, I can get a little bit closer to the store. It's about all I can do. Okay, let's see if 7 centimeters make a difference. Um.
Well
Anyway, what?
well,
No.
some people would say it makes a difference.
Okay. Yada yada yada. All right.
Well, I think I'm like 177 centimeters.
Talking about centimeters, I actually got my centimeters within another individual uh this week. Uh
What?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
My first one night stand. Because today she texted me, she was like, "Yeah, I don't really want to hang out again," basically. Which was weird, it was okay. Like it was but it was like, huh, this is odd. Very odd. Anyway, uh back to we'll touch upon that because I definitely have some thoughts.
Yeah.
um Doctor's appointment, I went to two open mics. That was
2.
quite incredible, dude. That made me so freaking happy. I mean, and that also took time, right? That also, like, one
Yeah.
of them was on Wednesday, the other one was on Thursday, and I didn't get back until late, you know
Yeah.
and then I get up later the next day, so on and so forth, right? It's like these little dominoes that kind of mess up here and there. And then Friday, I clapped, um, and then that I got home super late, uh, and then Saturday I went to work on a set with a friend of mine. So that was cool, right? But that was like a big chunk of time, like
Well,
what, fucking 1, 2, 3, like 6, 7 hours of just doing that thing. This is all to say, not excuses, right? But
wait, how did you
I think no gym lowered my energy levels. I think just mentally, I'm tired of this whole reading thing and I can't do anything else. And I think at some point, my brain is just like,
died?
and we've talked about this too, right? The covenant, it's
Mhm.
so important to you on a Sunday. And then 3, 4 days later, you're like, dude, I'll be happy with a mediocre score. That the
Yeah.
complacency creeps in. Um, I'm happy about the things I did for sure. Um, the open mics, working on this set with my friend. Going on a little date. I went to the I had to go to the dentist, to the doctor. But I guess yeah, it was just a lot of things came together. Some of them within my control, some of them not within my control.
Yeah.
That sort of took things out for a little bit of a spin.
Mhm.
Um, so not great. Certainly, there's things here that I could have done, like you said, the gratitude journal. I could have done that.
Yeah.
I could have done the creatine. You know, um, I guess sometimes to me, it's the little stuff is what gets to me.
Yeah.
As in, like, even if it takes 5 minutes, there's something about doing that thing
Right.
that
What's that?
is making a lot of noise.
Oh, oh, I thought I had my mic plugged in, so I thought I had muted it. Ah, I'm not even using my mic. It's bigger. That audio quality is
Oh,
insane.
that's better. That is better. Um, Yeah, the little things sometimes get to me, right? I don't want to do that little thing. Um, I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. I guess it because it's easier to like not think sometimes. It's easier to just crash in bed and just fall asleep rather than be, have a couple of deliberate thoughts about what you're grateful for.
Yeah.
As for the creatine, I guess as you said, it's like, oh, I didn't go to the gym, even though I need the creatine anyway. It's a great supplement to take on a daily basis. Um, yeah, but I think the biggest thing, Stephen, was the no working out really messed up my energy levels
Yeah.
and feeling burnt out.
Mm,
I'm not. I mean, I am spending time with family, but not that much. I'm not really. It feels like I'm not really advancing anything
mhm.
in my career. It feels like I'm just, yeah, preparing to take this exam just to get it over with.
Yep.
Um, and then the same thing you said. I think you got it on the dot. It's like I'm doing school alone. Um, and um, Yeah, it just gets a little. I'm good. I'm not like I'm not sad or anything.
Yeah.
It's just there's a lot of stuff that piles up in life, whether it's something as simple as a doctor's appointment to something as big as some sort of existential crisis.
Yeah.
That put together it just messes up that sort of weekly thing that you want. That
Mhm.
sort of vision that you want to
Yeah.
have. Sometimes it's enough to set the goals, rather than do them. And that's not good. That's complacence. That's whatever you want to call it. But um, yeah, I think that's what went wrong this week.
Okay. This makes sense. I'm gonna do something weird, and I'm gonna jump in with my goals,
With your new or old?
with my old ones,
Okay.
because I think there's some very nice parallels to what you felt this past week, what
Hmm.
you learned this past week by going to the open mic, what I felt this
I
week,
missed it, man.
and
I missed it so
how
much,
my
man.
version of that open mic is playing now in my head. So I wanna try to line them up. And
All right, yeah.
I know you missed it, man.
I
I didn't even need
missed
to
it,
be there. I
man.
didn't even need to ask, man.
Oh man,
So
it was awesome. Yeah, go ahead.
so yeah, you tasked me to get 100. I was close.
You were very
Uh,
close.
I
You were
got the
very,
black
very
dot
close.
on the XG boost, and okay, yeah, I did all the other things. Here are
Yeah,
checkmarks.
very
Read
good.
them if you want, but the thing that's interesting to me, is not so much the execution here, but I think maybe the one thing I'll say about the check marks is that the little things, and even not the little things, when you are really truly aiming for 100%, become much easier to do. Um, I'll say that, like the read before bed, this is equivalent to like the gratitude journal or something like this in terms of length of time. It might
Yeah,
even be equivalent to the creatine in length of time because sometimes I'm like, hey, I said I was going to read before bed. I will read like a page,
yeah,
and that's it. I think,
literally, yeah,
I think, you know, maybe for you when you find yourself in this kind of situation where you have something that becomes a very high priority, or when it happens to me again, I think going into the week with the mentality that I want 100%, I think could be very helpful.
oh yeah,
But I think
oh
that
yeah, for sure, for sure.
yeah, I think that if we're going to like put something, at a priority level of like S, and there's kind of nothing else that's really there, then the week should kind of be structured in this sense to help it, or else it's very hard to get that 100%. Well, somewhat structured, but not totally. I think it can be trickier to do the small things when it seems very disparate. And I don't think it necessarily would have to be like a tangible connection, but at least like a reminder of why you even put this in, right? If it was like, hey, I'm going to start my mornings with piano. It's like, oh, this doesn't help me with XG Boost, or this doesn't help me
Yeah.
do my readings
Okay.
directly, but it gives me like mental sanity It gives
Oh,
me clarity. It gives me this moment. I need to remember why I put this in. There's a reason why this is here. There's a reason why I want to get the 100%.
okay.
So let me like do that because I think that might help. That might have, with that sort of mentality switch, that might have helped you with
Yeah.
those little things. It's like, oh, this
Even
gratitude
yeah.
journal isn't a fit another thing that I have to do, but it's like, this is how I ground myself. I remind myself that, like, hey, yeah, like I don't want to have to be doing all this much reading all day. But I'm grateful for the fact that at least I'm reading in a cool place. I'm
Yeah.
reading and I can see my family all the time. And
Yeah.
it might just help enable that. This is kind of my
No, for
takeaway.
sure. It doesn't feel like it's gonna help the main goal, but it is. Even it is, but it's just not in a immediately obvious way. Like, why would
Yeah.
going to the gym help me with reading? You know,
Mhm.
why would the creatine help me with reading? Why would the gratitude journal help me with reading? Well, these are all things that kind of set up the domino of reading. You know, if I have
Mhm.
high energy levels, if I have my creatine, you know, I feel
Yeah.
its neurological effects. If I am grateful and I feel happier, you know, yeah, I think that's a very good way to think about it. I guess, you know, to concretize it a little bit or generalize it, it's like you have a very big goal. Um, and along with that big goal, you might have your routine, you know,
Mhm.
a routine that is composed of small things, you know, and small meaning, you know, easy to disregard or to
Yeah.
not do, right? And yeah, I guess just at face value, you know, when you're looking at things narrowly, you kind of just
Yeah. Yeah.
disregard the small things for the big thing,
Yeah.
when in reality it's the small things, doing the small things, that enable you to accomplish the big thing.
That's it. Yeah. And I think, we can summarize this very simply as remembering to tip the golden domino, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and these are the small things, but I realized this week the biggest takeaway I took away from this week because I wondered, like, why could I not get 100% this week? And I mean, well, technically, I mean, I could have done the things, right? But like, what inhibited me? What prohibited me? And I realized that I think it was because of missing those other bigger things in my week. So,
But you did everything else in your week.
yes, yes, but let me try to explain this better. Like, outside of working on that model,
Right.
how should I say? Outside of working on that model, in some sense, it felt like, um, but what got it? Yeah.
Come on,
How to put this
kid.
here? Yeah, I want to put this in
Oh, you're good.
a clear way. Like, it was difficult at the beginning of the week to work on the model. I think if I had had a full week, it would have happened. It would have happened. But this kind of week started on Wednesday.
Why?
Well, that's when we called, and so I that's when I let this weekend
Oh, is
until,
that
and I had Olin
so?
at my house
Yeah.
until
Oh,
Tuesday,
that's right. That's right.
anyways.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you know, um, it's it was a natural time for
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
productivity to start. I wasn't going to
Yeah,
work on this on his last days.
for sure.
So this happened Wednesday, and I had the Wednesday starts. I wake up kind of late, groggy, and you know, I just do something kind of cursory to just get my check for the day about starting something my day with something interesting, and then I try to like work, and I just couldn't get myself to work. I wasn't very compelled to do it. I didn't want to really do it. I suppose I wasn't remembering why
Why?
I wanted to do it, and I guess at the end of the day, it's been a very long time since graduation. It feels like another
Yeah,
thing that just won't be
yeah,
fruitful, and it just it
yeah.
was very hard to like mentally get behind it. And it was like, oh, I just had all this fun time with my friends, and now it's like
No, you're
the
yeah,
greatest thing I can orient my day to
yeah,
is this big mental shift. There were a lot of
yeah.
difficulties in doing this. I think another very big difficulty was, imagine taking a lot of time off of this thing that has a huge number of moving parts.
Yeah.
You have the way that your data is transformed to make features. Then you have a choice of model. Then you have your way that you tune that model. Then you have a way that you tune that model for the trading strategy. Then you have a trading strategy itself. And I don't have anything working.
It
And
sounds pretty
there's a bit of
simple.
this sorry, pretty what?
Sounds pretty simple, but
Yeah, yeah,
continue.
yeah. Of course, right? When you spell it out like that, yeah. Um,
No, not at all.
And you have all of these moving parts, right? You have
Yeah.
parameters in your model, you
Yeah.
have hyper parameters that you tune, you have like hyper parameters that you tune on top of those.
Yeah.
And then you have parameters that you don't even tune and are making a best guess, and things aren't working. And I haven't worked on it for, like 8, 9 days. And I just look at it and I sit down
Yeah.
and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like,
Yeah.
is the
What is
problem with
this?
the features? Is a problem with the model? Is it with the way that I tune it? Is it the way that I tune the things on top of the tuning? Is it the
Yeah.
assumptions I make at the beginning? And there was this huge paralysis, and this paralysis contributed to it being very hard to work. So then I would
Yeah.
just like sit there and I would like think for a bit and I'd be like, dude, this fucking sucks, bro. You know. So that was a problem, right? There was a big
Yeah.
problem from having taken a break for so long. And um, after the call that I had with my mentor, right, there was a ton of momentum. Like there was a ton of kind of self confidence, and it was very easy to work that first week that Owen was here, right? But then he takes a break. I'm like, dude, I haven't been in contact with this founder in like 3 weeks. He probably doesn't. He probably just forgot about me, anyways. Like, there's like no point in doing this. I don't even know where to start. Nothing's gonna work. And there's all this self doubt and things like trickling around, and that's a problem, right? But another problem was forgetting about why I'm even doing this in the first place, right? It became something that I had to do because it was on my list, and not something that I sat down and like, hey, I'm doing this precisely because I want to move with my girlfriend to, the 82nd floor of the Panorama building and have this life that I've envisioned and have this financial comfort that I've envisioned and be in this startup environment surrounded by cool, right? All of this was forgotten, right? And I think,
Yeah.
um, and it just became a chore. But later in the week, I took this start the day with something exciting and time for fulfillment at the end of the day more seriously. I
Mm.
started elongating these, perhaps initially to run away from, needing to work on the model. I'm like, dude, I don't want to, I'm just going to like practice piano for an hour. So I practiced piano for an hour. And then I tried to work on it for a bit, and not much was working, but I worked on it more. And then in the evening, and I cooked a little bit in Logic. And then the next day it was like, ooh, I kind of want to I kind of want to get up now so that I can play around on the piano. And like, oh, I'm going to work a bit more focused on the model today, so that I can get back on Logic again. I already have some ideas. Um, Actually, no, slightly different. In the morning, I had woken up with Logic ideas. Sorry, so I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna like type this up real fast, like get my ideas here. Okay, I have like template here. Now let me like just grind out my XG boost, right? So I can get back to the music I was making. And
Okay.
and slowly this like transformation started to come because there were things in the day beyond what felt like, meaning work to look forward to on both ends. So there was a reason to get up, and there was a reason to put in good work on what I had to do so that I could access those other things. And all of a sudden, and I mean, this was the hope behind this structure of this week, to sandwich the work between two exciting things so that there was a reason to get up and a reason to finish. And it was working. And it was working, right? Um, and then something very interesting happened. And I think that this ties in with both the reading struggle that you had and also the open mic. And this also connects to my next week. So this is sort of the key idea. So that maybe the key catalyst this week is that this weekend I had a great weekend. I went away with my dad on Saturday to see my cousin. On Sunday, I went into town, saw Daniil Trifonov giving a piano concert in Berkeley.
Whoa.
And he was playing amazing music. And on the way to the concert, I read their bios, and they lived very, very interesting lives. And the music was great, and it made me want to come home and play music, and I
Of
was already
course.
feeling this inspiration bubbling. And then we watched Intervision, which is, Russia's a spin on Eurovision, since they kicked out of
Mm.
Eurovision. And dude, I mean, this thing makes Eurovision look like fucking kindergarten.
Oh, no way, dude.
Dude,
Eurovision? Come on.
no,
That's
no,
like
no, no.
huge.
I know. I don't say this lightly, dude. It literally makes Eurovision look like a kindergarten show.
Really?
Dude, the production is insane. I you just when you're done, watch it. I mean, you have this insane set with all these lights, and you have this LED floor which creates stuff in the background, and the
Yeah.
sound system, and they're introduced. The countries are introduced by giant,
Mm-hmm.
towering colossuses of
Well, how many
AI.
countries is it?
Like 30 something.
Oh.
It's just everybody but the Eurovision countries, basically. Even the US was there. So
Oh, so it's not just Russia. Okay.
no, Russia, China, Vietnam, all the
Okay.
stans, a
Well,
third of Africa,
all this-
a third of Latin America,
all the stunts.
US.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, no, no, dude, this is something that you have to watch. It's
Wow.
really incredible.
Yeah.
And I watched this, man,
Curious.
and this was this is what I think was my catalyzing moment of this week. I looked at that, and the set is insane. You've got huge, towering, you know, uh, holograms introducing countries,
Mm-hmm.
insane sound systems, floating colors. If you want to see maybe the single best performance ever, you watch the closing like mashup that they put on, and they have like
These are all musical performances.
yes, yes, but they bring in all sorts of things with lighting and holograms, and they had circus performers, and
Wow.
I mean, dude, this is
Okay.
one of the most amazing things I've ever seen, really. And I just watched it, and I just couldn't stop crying because
Really?
yeah, because it awakened something I had forgotten about for a very long time. Then when I was
Which was what?
just the Chandler thoughts, man,
Yeah.
Chandler thoughts,
What
because
were
this is
what are those notes?
well, when I had been in Vienna, I saw somebody put on a Chandlery performance, right? That I think I told you about.
And just for, I guess, just quick background, Chandler, you got the fellowship after college to travel all around a couple of countries in Europe, and yeah,
Yeah,
just
I was looking at I was
for the
writing about
hypothetical listener.
yeah.
Soon, soon,
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah. Um, but I was looking at setting of musical performances. That was the key: setting, setting, setting. And I looked at this, man, and it reminded me of the thoughts that I had had when I
Yeah.
saw this performance in Vienna, where this guy, this producer, he put together a crazy thing in front of this big governmental building. It had lights, and it had um, fire dancers, and it had beatboxing, EDM, and it had piano, and it had a dude climbing the scaffolding, and it was like a total art, right? With all these things. And I watched this again, and it just I couldn't stop crying because I was like, dude, I remember that there was a
Gay.
time. Oh my gosh, you got
No, please,
you
please,
got
please,
me.
please.
Yeah, it reminded me of this time where during that Chandler, especially like at the peak of Vienna, I was like,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah, yeah, I remember you telling me
if
about this.
I
Yeah,
could
yeah, yep,
put
yep, yep.
together a performance like this would be
Yeah,
the greatest thing I could do.
yeah,
This would be the greatest thing I could do.
yeah.
And it just reminded me of that, dude. And I was like, and I was just sitting there. I'm like, what am I doing, man? Like, I don't have to make this tomorrow, right?
Uh
But
huh.
this was a goal. This is why I wanted to start writing
Mm-hmm.
anyways, seriously, and doing more music and thinking about this because I wanted to build up towards some amazing performance like this. And I had tidbits like at Oxford when I rapped for the 150 people at our big party. I
Yeah.
put together it with lighting and Bluetooth activated staffs, and I put some thought into it, and it was something
Okay.
I wanted to do, but it was like, oh, this is something I want to do. It wasn't like necessarily that. desire connected to this desire that I had had, a year prior during the Chandler. And I feel that this, just in that moment of watching Intervision, it took me from Vienna to working on Logic to working on Omen to doing that rap performance at Oxford to doing the open mic, and it connected all those things and it reminded me the reasons why I wanted to do all those things.
But is this gonna change anything for the time being?
Yes, yes, it will. Yes,
It
it will.
is.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that. I think at when we get to the or it's important for my next week. The thing I want to say, the thing that I want to say now, just to kind of finish this train of thought, is that I watched that. My parents went to bed. I heard it. I was getting ready for bed for tomorrow. I hear a tune in my head. I just pop on Logic. I put the whole tune in there. I went back. I listened to my stuff. I'm like, holy shit, I have good stuff.
Yeah.
Holy crap, I actually have good stuff. I
Yeah.
can I can start to do something with this. I can start to do something with this. Oh my gosh, like I'm feeling super passionate. And then, it's the last thought that I had, man. Basically,
What?
holy shit, dude, I need to grind the fuck out of my XG boost, man, so I can make shit like this possible. And
Mm, yeah.
boom. And so this is why I wanted to bring it up, on the heels of before you talked about, I guess, the open mic, because to me, I realized that missing things like this music for me, the open mic for you, it it hurts in unforeseen ways. And now,
Mm,
because of remembering all this stuff that I love to do, and not just that, oh, I like to do this, but there was a thing that I wanted to build towards, right? You don't just do stand-up comedy to like do a set, right?
yeah.
There's something you're pushing towards. That it reminded me of all of that. It made me want to get up in the morning. I wasn't just groggily laying in bed. I got up. I was like, okay, shit. And I didn't have goals for this week. I was in this sort of concretized. I was in this interim between like last goals and when we have our call, right?
Mm,
But I got up and I just had the optimal morning. And like Huberman says, you got to get out and get sun right away. So I
yeah.
went outside. I started stretching. I drank 2 glasses of water. I just had this insane vivacity for living. And because of that stuff that wasn't reading, right? That stuff that wasn't
Mm,
that. I'm like so excited to do shit now, and I'm just curious to hear if, and of course, I want your responses to all these thoughts at some point as well.
yeah,
But
right. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
curious to hear if this open mic had some similar experience for you, because I know
I
you had
mean,
been a little bit trapped, and now you've touched it again, something that I know you lived for, man, when you were at
yeah.
Yale.
Yeah, I mean, I think after the open mic, all I could think about, or one of the big things that kept popping into my head was like putting together a show, right?
Yeah,
Pomona is a cute little place. I mean, it just reminded me of, putting those shows together at Yale, you
yeah,
know, not that they were, amazing, but they were amazing to me, bringing over 100 people, over like 120 people. And it just, I kept getting these ideas of like, dude, imagine putting on a show here, fucking, making it so that the proceeds, the revenue goes so that we can donate it for victims of ICE. That to me is super important.
mhm.
It would be so meaningful to me to do something like that. And, going to these open mics, dude, I saw some really funny people, and I guess you can get bogged down thinking about this state of comedy. It's oversaturated. There's so many people trying to do something in that area of stand-up comedy, but you get your time on stage and you do the joke, and not every joke hit for me. I think I've come to the realization that poop jokes are not as funny as I think they are, and it's taken me about a year and multiple people telling me to stop, but I did them here and they just didn't get the laughs that I was hoping for. But that's just a funny thing to think about. But
People have a shitty sense of humor.
those were a couple of stinkers that I told.
Uh-huh.
But it was beautiful, man. You tell the jokes that work, and then you get people telling you like, "Yo, great set." and you just feel this sort of adrenaline. That second open mic I went to, the first one was like maybe fucking 5 people, very low stakes. The second one was like easily like 30 people in the room.
Yeah, I just want to jump
Uh,
in and say that for the last week, Isaac was hesitant to even put open mic on
Yeah.
the goals list,
It was
and
gonna be
now
an
unbeknownst to
extra
me, the first
thing.
time I'm hearing it is on this call that
Yeah.
in fact not just one but two open
yeah,
mics, man.
man.
So
And it felt, and that when you do that stuff, it's so easy for me to be like, man, fuck this reading, bro. Fuck this. I
yeah,
don't care. I want to just be doing this, or, putting, something with music or comedy or film, writing. That's the stuff that makes me want to get up every fucking morning. Same thing with the music. There were a couple of times this week where I was working on the music,
mhm,
and it just, I swear to God, bro. It's funny you talk about things with a lot of moving parts, right? You jump in and you're like, fuck. To, with me, I've definitely felt that, with stories and, big projects. But for some reason, with this music piece that I'm working on, there's so many moving parts and it needs so much work. But every time I jump in, I don't care if I do the equivalent of just like a little tap of the hammer on my marble block. I
mhm,
don't care. Just as long as I'm getting a little bit of that, a little bit closer to what's in the center, you
yeah,
know. And those things are so fun to me. And I think as somebody who I'm a sensitive person. I feel things a lot, and there's a lot of things going on right now in my life that haven't had a real outlet. Things with family, things with, myself. Like, just the other day, man, we have so much to talk about, and I don't want to like go too abstract or whatever, but
mhm.
after I see this gal, great time, it was very fun.
Was that
Um,
off of the back of a open mic, or is it separate?
no, 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 this was separate. This was on one of the dating apps.
No.
And it was all good. I felt good. I felt easy. I was myself for sure.
Yeah.
And the coitus happens and it's great. Whatever release, you kind of get in touch with a maybe instinctual side of you, and it was great. It was all cool.
Okay.
But then the next day, oh yeah, yeah, and on my drive back, because I'm working on this song that's based on the
Yeah.
feelings about my breakup and all that. And on that way back, I'm like, huh, maybe those feelings are all gone. Maybe now it's too late to write the song.
Mm,
Maybe
mhm.
I have too soon let those things go. Literally the next night, I have a dream about my ex. It's a very intense dream, not like sexually, but,
Yeah.
and it's like, fuck, and this is the second dream that I have this week about my ex, and these dreams are so fraught, and they're just so, I don't know why I've had so much trouble getting over that relationship, but this is all to say, there's so many feelings and emotions that I have. And to me, the outlets are, comedy, writing, and music. And, it's like when I finish my readings, what's going to happen? I'm going to have to get another job, right? I'm going to have to get
Mhm.
another job. And it's not like me finishing the readings is going to completely change everything, right?
Yep.
Um, but there is a sense in which these readings are completely clouding everything in my life, you know it's like, even if I'm not reading 8 hours a day, it feels like it's a cloud hanging over me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know
There's
exactly what
no
you mean.
weekends. There's only reading or feeling guilty that I'm not reading, you know
Yeah.
and again, great books, and I'm actually learning so much. And I was telling my dad, like, I feel like as much as I complain about it, this period of reading is going to enable me to finish The Last Sunset on Mars, just
Well,
in terms of what I'm learning and the sort of things I can kind of articulate now. Um, so it's all for good stuff. But I guess it's just so easy for me to be slowed down by things outside of my control, whether that's the current, watching the news, my dad's health, family arguments, you know, uncertainty about what's going to happen. And I feel like just lately that's been getting to me a lot.
Mm,
Um, and maybe I don't know if it's the sad part per se, but right now I really do need to focus on the reading, right?
yeah,
That's the main thing that I have to focus
mhm,
on. And I guess it's just as how do I guess I don't really see it as you do, where the way you see your XG boost is like, let me just get this over with so I can work on the other stuff. To me, I guess just now lately, it just feels like, let me just get the reading over with, and then I don't know what's going to happen after that, because so many things are uncertain, mostly in terms of my dad's health. Um, but I don't know. I guess I'm a little lost. I guess I need to, do the little things that help me get back on track, working out. Um, I would, at least going to an open mic once a week.
mhm,
That's definitely for sure gonna happen. Um, try to get these little tastes of things that I love. Um, but yeah, it's like any way I think about it, right? It's like
thanks.
I have to read.
Yeah,
I have to read. If it's 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, 5 hours a day, it's like any amount of time it's like reading as much as possible, right?
yeah.
Um, so, without going on too long, I don't know how much time you got, but
And let's just call it infinite. I think this is an important call.
okay, great. But yeah, it's just, yesterday I had such a beautiful, beautiful gift. So my it was my dad's birthday yesterday, and he has some of his musical pieces are going to be performed at Pomona College, and then a week later he's going to have a premiere of another piece that he wrote. And this is like, you
No,
know
nice.
I don't know if symphony, I guess that's a certain size, but it's an orchestra, right?
Hmm.
And so he took me and my brother Jimmy to this rehearsal, and they're playing some of his pieces, and he was there giving notes to all the players. These are like college kids. And they rehearsed one of my dad's pieces that is one of my favorite of all time. It's all strings. um and man, I got to, on my dad's birthday, I got to see this sort of, it was a rehearsal, but it felt like it was only for me,
Yeah.
because it was just me and my brother Jimmy and my dad,
Okay.
and all the chairs were empty. So it's almost felt like, holy shit, we're getting this thing performed.
Yeah.
And it was really, truly special. Truly, truly special. And obviously that leads me into thinking like, man, this is what it's all about, fucking art, and finding a way to dedicate one's life to these pursuits. Um, but I don't know, you escape a little bit and then you go back to your real life and you're like, fuck, I'm so far from that. Or maybe I'm not as far as I think. And I guess just what I want is to finish up at Yale
So,
and just take some time off, man. Whatever that means. because life is not gonna really stop, and it just, I guess, I know I sound very scattered, right? But
Because
it feels like I'm putting off the start of my life to the end of the year because that's when I
hmm
take my exams, right? And I'm excited for that. I'm super excited for the start of my life. It's just I hope things don't get in the way, even though I feel like they will because they have for the past time. And so it's sometimes difficult for me to see a vision, even if it's an unclear vision.
yeah,
It's hard to see a future or a near future where I'm not, there's things outside of my control kind of change my plans, right?
okay,
Um, so, I feel, what can I do, right? That's the question. What can I do? And I think it comes down to these small things, as we just talked about. What working out every day in the morning, so I have my energy levels are up. Drinking the water, gratitude journaling, smiling more,
yeah,
because that makes everything else possible. you
mm.
know it sucks that I have to read so much,
You,
and I think right now at this very moment
I do.
I just have to tough it out, is what it feels like. Yeah.
No, those feelings are all incredibly familiar, man.
Yeah. It's I have to. I have to, and I have to make it meaningful. And if I sneak an hour of music here and there, if I sneak in an open mic here and there,
Yeah,
it's all good. You know,
yeah,
I'm hungry for this sort of
yeah,
freedom.
yeah,
I'm hungry for freedom, and sometimes it's difficult to know whether you're looking from within a mental prison or from without.
mhm,
If I guess from without wouldn't really make sense, but it's sometimes difficult to know whether you are within a mental prison because sometimes prisons can be invisible.
yeah. No, I think in my experience, man, of being here, I think it is quite possible that it is mental prison like.
Oh, and can I just say one more thing?
Yeah,
Just that's been adding to my, I don't know, existential sluggishness, bro. The shit that I'm reading about history and about Latin American history and about the 20th century and just about capitalism. It's 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 so easy to fall into cynicism
mhm,
sometimes reading all that. And I don't want to make myself seem like, dude, I've read so much that I know too much now. No,
yeah,
I'm so ignorant. I am so incredibly ignorant. But man, some of this stuff will fucking hurt, even when it's fucking poetry, because
yeah,
it's like, whence from where is this coming from? Where are these words coming from? And then
mhm,
you learn where they're coming from, and it's like, fuck, bro.
yeah,
People had to suffer for me to be sitting here outside of Starbucks. Not just people today,
yeah.
people in the past. So much pain. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
No, yeah, I get that too, man. I get that too. Uh, yeah, sometimes I wonder. Sometimes I actually more than sometimes I actually think about that quite a good bit. Maybe that's something Alicia used to get on my case for.
About what?
is deep, just all the cynicism, because I mean, just that, just the more you read, man, the more it's like, bro.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I think
man.
like when I was very young, it's sort of like, hey, dude, we were barbaric, like Middle Ages. We were barbaric, like 1600s, but like we're beyond that now. And it's like, no, dude.
Oh
It's like,
no,
no,
no, that's the
no.
biggest myth. This thing about like we're civilized. No, we've just gotten really sneaky about
Yeah,
torture and about fucking domination. Sometimes not even sneaky. Sometimes it's just you hide the history and that's it.
yeah.
Bro, the shit I learned about, how the US, how the CIA in the 1950s, how they ran a countrywide psyop. I think it was in Guatemala.
I mean, you can just choose a Latin American
Oh,
country,
yeah, pretty much, right? Pretty much, right? Bro,
yeah,
but the shit they did was like, oh my God. And it was all for fucking corporate interests, right? You know, stop communism. So let's fucking put a dictator in place that
yeah,
will do what we want. And then
yeah,
people fucking wonder, "N- no illegal immigrants here." It's like this country made their lives and the lives of their fucking ancestors impossible.
mm,
How the fuck do you not expect people to fucking go to try to leave,
yeah, yeah.
And it's, I don't want to get all, left. It's not whatever, bro, but yeah. And it's
No,
just
I know,
that
I know,
shit gets to me, bro. That shit gets to me. It's like, fuck, man. Like, what do I do? I'm here trying to make little music.
yeah,
That's why I was thinking about putting on this comedy show.
yeah.
But it's like, oh, dude, I have to fucking read. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, but there's always going to be something to do, man.
I
But
hope
yeah,
so.
you can't. I know you can't get me started on this stuff either, dude. Or I'll go off. But this reminds me of one other impression that I had. Actually, your comment does, where you're like, oh, and I'm just trying to do this like little music here. But I realized I was reminded watching Intervision of a Dostoevsky quote from The Idiot, right? Which is "Beauty will save the world," and uh
That's a quote?
yeah,
Huh.
and I don't know. I think it never really made sense to me. Actually, but I understood it in a new light watching Intervision, yeah. And I think the reason why, to put it simply, is I mean, if I name a country like Kyrgyzstan, right? I think the average person is gonna think like, okay, so these are like basically like Mongols that are like still on our horses living in yurts or something, right? And or if you name any stan, and it's unfortunate, right? I mean, I was born in
Yeah.
Kazakhstan, so I'm in some sense from one of the stans in any sense, and you get this, you can have this impression easily, man. But Intervision, Kyrgyzstan, dude, put together one of the just a fucking epic song, dude, and an epic performance.
Mm.
And I think seeing that, and from these like countries that you don't think about so often, right? Like where else? I think South Africa also had an incredible performance.
South Africa?
Yes. Yeah, and you just like look at this, and then you see that it's beautiful, and in seeing that, I think I was just reminded of like, collective humanity, man. Right, in seeing all of that
Yeah.
beauty, and from these places that you don't think about, and you don't necessarily think like, well, because what do we listen to? We listen to like Western music, and like occasionally maybe when Bad Bunny's not talking too rebellious about Puerto Rico, we can listen to some Bad Bunny on the radio too.
Oh, the
But
stuff
that's
done to
about it.
Puerto Rico was horrible stuff. But yeah, I see what you mean.
And then boom.
It's yeah, it's for me. It's easy to fall into cynicism, and even though it seems like we're not talking about the weeklies anymore, that does make me not. It kind of slows me down, with my momentum for the week, because
Yeah,
you think about that stuff. And so I guess the question to me is, you were talking about, doing it inspired you all these little things that you truly love. Not little things, but all these, I guess, for the moment, more orbital things that
Mhm.
you love. Um,
Exactly.
remembering or being reminded of how much you love them is what made you want to do the XG boost to get it done, right?
Mhm.
And I guess it's my question is,
Yeah.
and not that we haven't talked about it, but how do you keep that thing? How do you keep that fire? How do you keep that that energy, right? Because it's not something you can just turn on and off, and
Yeah.
it's not something that stays turned on when it
Mhm.
is turned on, right? It's a
Yeah.
daily thing, weekly thing, hourly thing. And for me, same thing, not just on the micro, but on the macro. You learn about
Mhm.
all these things, these injustices done unto people that can never be avenged. And you say beauty will save the world. Well,
And
what's the fucking what do I have to do to make the beauty, right? Like
yeah.
what sort of mental prisons, mental blocks do I have to break free from to make beauty, you know? How can I not be how can I not
You can I think that uh,
how can I keep cynicism from affecting me on a daily basis? And this is not to say I'm like, oh, I'm depressed. No,
Mhm.
I'm getting up in the morning, I'm working out. The reading, I don't want to do it. But
Yeah.
when I'm at the open mics, when I'm doing the music, I feel good. I feel
Yeah, yeah,
fine.
yeah.
So it's just, how do
You you
I guess how do I
the
keep that thing? How do I keep my sight on the end of the tunnel, even though the light at the end of the tunnel is so uncertain? How do I just have faith? And I'm not
yeah,
asking for you to answer me, but
yeah,
that's my question. How do I keep, I guess maybe at the bottom of it, it might be faith.
yeah.
Faith in humanity, faith in yourself, faith in your future, faith that things will work out, whatever that means, whatever that could mean. How do you keep that faith? And how do you keep cynicism out?
Yeah, I've also thought about this one a good bit, and I think it can be kind of paralyzing at times because it's like, dude, I'm like reading a book, bro, and like you got all this shit going on. Like, what am I doing? I should be doing something cooler, and like something that maybe addresses this. And then you're like, oh, what would that thing be? And then it's like, oh, I don't know. And then you kind of get a bit stuck. At least this is something that I felt, right?
Is this something that I can't change, And again, there's I love I love my mind. I love my mind for everything that it is. I'm grateful for it. And, even when I'm in bed and I can't sleep because I'm thinking about, Latin American history or my ex or my dad or my career, I like it, you know. Um, but I need action. I need to do something. And I can do that thing. And the question is, okay, once January comes, then what will I do? And will I have the freedom and opportunity to do what I want to do? Um,
Keep cooking, keep cooking. I'm just grabbing a coffee. I need to get cracked for this.
no, that's just the question. It just feels like I'm in a, I don't know, I'm grateful for my family, but a lot of things have been uncertain, money among other things. And it's like I want to live for myself a little bit, and I want to do something special. I feel like I'm not destined for greatness, but I think I am meant for it. And yeah, I guess how do I get through these 2 fucking months of reading? That really is my question. How do I get through these 2 months of reading?
Why don't you just drop out of Yale?
Fuck no, dude. That seems just like a silly thing to do. Like, oh, I can't read, so I'm just gonna drop out. No. And it's an income right now. It's a good source of income. So, I don't know. I guess maybe we haven't even talked about our upcoming goals. I guess.
Wait, hold up. Hold up for a second, bro. Just we've gotten somewhere, man, and I think we need to not lose that momentum.
Then speak, child. Speak to me.
So, look, I think you can only tackle so many things at once, man. I think.
Yeah, right.
This
That's
is one
exactly
thing.
right. Yeah.
Like I'm a sensitive person, right? And I love bees. I love bees, for instance.
There we go. You do love bees.
And you can read that most places, maybe in places like Siberia and the Amazon, you're a little bit better off. But like in like certainly like inhabited places, insect populations are down like 70 to 90% over the past 50 years. Think about that, like 90% lose, right? I think about this and I'm like, okay, well, not only is this like sick ass spiders and like other things, but it's like also bees, I think about that and I feel real pain, right? And I'm like, what could I do about that? And then you think about like historical injustices and the way that they continue today, right? And the ripple effect, so I feel real pain for these people. What could I do about that? And I'm at home and I can see, when my parents suffer for, finances or whatever else it might be. And that gives me real pain. And it's like, fuck, what can I do about that? And then it's like, cool, I want to create something great for this world because I've been blessed by this world, given all these opportunities. And if I don't make anything of it, it's going to be a true shame. And that not doing that, just suffer. And there's just all these things, right, that can be tackled and sorry, that just flagged. There's all these things that can be tackled, and there's all these things that you want to do. And I think at times that can be very paralyzing. And in choosing the role, I think it has to be narrowed down a little bit, right? I think this is a first step. So
at the end of the day, after all, Atlas lifted but one planet.
That's true.
Right? It wasn't 2, it wasn't 3, it was 1.
It was 1, yeah, even Atlas. So, I made a conscious decision when I started becoming a quant weirdo that I was like, hey, there's like all these things, and I don't necessarily feel free to make a completely, decision of passion. But even if it was a decision of passion, there's like 8 other things I could be doing, right?
Yeah.
That would be passion, from writing an opera to making documentaries about bees to raise awareness. And I was like, okay, world is very big. I'm just going to do this. I got a lot of student debt. I got parents that could use a little bit of money.
Do you really have a lot of student debt?
Oh yeah.
How much?
Like 88.
Oh wow.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to choose a thing. I want to be fiscally free and I want to help my parents. This will be the most important thing. Yeah. I'll go quant, and then just choose. And it's not for like a lifetime, right? And even now, a year in, it might just be like, yeah, this kind of thing in Miami doesn't work out. I might just go, okay, whatever, man. I'm just gonna move to the make Afro beats or something. I don't know. I'm serious. I might just get weird with it, bro. Like,
Come on, man. Do the Afro beat.
dude, I love the Afro beats, man. But right, something had to be chosen, right? You had to
But
just pick
but
one
you
of them.
chose, but you
But I
chose,
chose.
and you've
I
committed,
chose.
and you've
Yeah.
committed.
And I mean, at times at times I fucking hate it, and at times I doubt, and at times I wonder, like, maybe I should do that other thing. But until that voice, that other voice, that's like, oh, maybe you should be doing this, gets sufficiently loud, I'm on this path, and at this point, I'm kind of at that spot where the other voice is like, okay, man. So I'm like, mentally, it's like, hey, I give it my all here, and honestly, I should make this a goal to like mentally come to terms with that. Not like I will never apply to another quant job again, but at least it's going to be a moment where I step back and have to reassess all the assumptions that I've made to make
Yeah.
this goal, right? Because at some point I just lose my fucking mind coding, right? So,
Yeah.
but the decision was made, right? And I think that's the key. It's like, yeah, dude, all these other things weigh on me, and I feel the weight of I feel some of the suffering of the world on my shoulders too. But I'm not in a position yet. Um, I'm not in a position yet where that is going to be my primary undertaking. The world suffers, but people that I love suffer. I will attend to them first, and I won't forget about this. And you had raised a question earlier about inspiration too, um, and keeping that fire and stuff. And that I did a poor job of doing. I got so in the mix that I forgot about it a little bit, in inspiration. And then I'd complain to you, I'm like, I have no inspiration. And you're like, dude, do you spend like 3 seconds at the piano, like thinking about music? I'm like, no, dude. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I think if you just throw a log on it, you're not going to lose
What do
it,
you mean
right?
by throw a log on it?
Like, if this fire that you have, if you throw a log every now and again to make sure it doesn't, emit a big ash, I think that's enough,
Oh,
man.
I
And you
like
don't
that.
have to do it.
I
You don't
like
have to
that.
do everything right now, man. You know.
Yeah.
But now I felt this bubbling up that I shared with you,
You
and
know,
now I can engage with it a bit more seriously, right? Because
yeah.
it's pulling me to that degree. But I don't think I needed to address everything at once. I was stuck for a while because that's what I thought I had to do. I think in the middle of my time at Oxford, that's what I thought. Oh, I need to do, and I need to write this opera, and I need to do everything. And I was like wanting to do everything at once, right? I'm like, I'm going to write this book of poetry and
That's the
simultaneously
story
own
of
and then
that's the
that
story of
nothing
my
happened
life,
there.
dude.
Nothing
That's
happened when that was going on, man. So I would say that's
Yeah.
that's a trap.
Yeah, that's the story of my life for sure. And I've finished things, but like if I made a list of all the things that I have started that I have yet to finish, and that's why I've been fantasizing lately about, like, once I finish at Yale, then I'm gonna take like a year to just finish everything, you know.
Hmm.
And maybe impossible to finish everything, but um yeah, just focusing on a yeah, it's hard for me to do that because I feel like if I'm not doing everything, then I'm doing nothing. But yeah, if I do everything, then I end up finishing. If I start everything, I end up finishing nothing. Um, it's cool what you said. I feel the weight of the world on my shoulders. I do as well, and it's not like I'm painting myself as the hero, but I feel a preponderance of things on my shoulders, and a lot of them need not be on my shoulders. And um, God, you said something that made me want to say another thing.
Like the fire and
Oh no, something I had said that these past few weeks that I've put as my goal to read as much as possible, I've failed and I've read
yeah,
less versus when I would put like 3 to 5 hours a day. Oh, I remember now. It was precisely about the log, right? Um, so like this week, I am gonna put, a certain number, read minimum of 5 hours a day. And as you said, I love this metaphor of, well, yeah, the fire is not gonna stay on if you don't throw a log every once in a while. It doesn't have to be a raging fire right now, but
Yeah.
it can be a small thing, even if it's a small thing. Just don't let it
Yeah.
go off, because if it's off, then
Yeah.
you know. So I think, what does that mean for me? I think it means don't not doing this thing of like read as much as possible, because that when I put it that way, I realize now it takes over everything.
Yeah.
As much as possible, that means every waking hour. Literally, that's what that means, right? As opposed to like, hey, you know what? 5 hours a day, man. Do 5 hours a day. It's gonna be tough, but now I have a number that
That's already enough. It's
when I
already
hit it,
enough.
when I hit that number, it's like, okay, fuck this, no more reading.
Dude,
Just
they
get
made
my
my
five
week so
hours.
much better to do that
Yeah.
because I also
Yeah.
had the infinite coding slash textbook every day, and that was all. And maybe that's why, dude, the life started to feel like just just
Yeah.
I had like I don't know, I had anhedonia or whatever. Like I had like no desires and nothing like gave me pleasure because like I just wake up.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I got to grind all day. You do that, go to bed, and it's like there's just not like there's just nothing even to like wake up for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
So I
think,
think that'll be good for you.
yeah, I think so. I have a lot of things on my to do list that I have to do,
Yeah.
important things, very important things that, that I also didn't do because I was like, oh, I'm just going to read as much as possible. Um, but I think one of the things is I want to write that letter to my ex. Uh, I think it'll be good. I
Mhm.
think it'll offload a lot of stuff, trying to articulate that. I think it'll put a lot of things into words, and I think it'll be beautiful in and of itself. It's not, I don't, I don't know if I would ever send it, but I don't know. I was just, it's a good exercise for me to get ready to write the lyrics for the
Yeah.
song. It's going to be a long song. And so what I bring that up, I guess, is just to stress the fact that there's things that no matter how much reading I have to do them. Gym,
You get to do them.
I get to do them. But I guess I mean like I have to because they make me feel good. Working out, smiling. Dude, I mean, smiling to me is like, even if it's like a daily reminder. And you know what I've stopped doing as well? Jesus Christ. I've stopped my reciting my poem in the morning,
Dang.
and I always smile on that with that poem because I get to the line that I wrote, which says, where it says my stanza that I wrote into the poem, it says, "For only once I am alive, where faith has sung for thousands more. So I will smile when I arrive, and then I smile, indomitable to the door." And I've completely stopped doing that. Wow, I'm gonna put it in my goals, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. You see, you forget these little things, man, that
Mhm.
make all the fucking difference.
Yeah.
Maybe something like, I don't know, I'm trying to come up with a cool metaphor. Like, sometimes monuments stand on, I don't know, on just a few little, I don't know. I'll think about it.
Okay.
Nothing beats too much rain. You go.
Isaac,
Yeah.
I think it may be good to talk about the goals, but just before we leave Atlas, man, before we leave Atlas, I
Yeah.
remember I have two quotes from Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged. I
Okay.
feel like I feel like they would go pretty hard right now.
Let's see. Let's hear them. You
All
still
right.
need to send me your fucking song, dude. This is getting kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. I understand. Think about that. It's going to be a goal this week.
Send Isaac Gold song.
It's like,
Yeah, and I'm also going to ask you for a goal on the basis of everything that I've shared. I want a goal from you this week because you happen to know those things um, better than me sometimes. What I need. Um, okay, you ready for some bars?
Yeah.
I wish I wrote these, man. Do not let your fire go out. Spark by irreplaceable spark in the hopeless swamps of the not quite, the not yet, and the not at all. Do not let the hero in your soul perish in lonely frustration for the life you deserved and have never been able to reach. The world you desire can be won. It exists. It is real. It is possible. It's yours.
Esatto.
Damn.
Così.
Damn. I like the beginning.
Yeah.
Gatto.
I'm gonna hit you with one more.
Yeah, please.
If you saw Atlas, the giant who holds the world on his shoulders, if you saw that he stood, blood running down his chest, his knees buckling, his arms trembling, but still trying to hold the world aloft with the last of his strength, and the greater his effort, the heavier the world bore down upon his shoulders, what would you tell him?
Whoa. Whoa. Is that a question? I don't know if. Wow. I gotta read that book.
Yeah.
What would you tell Atlas?
Hey.
Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah.
lousy mouth. What do you say? Should you say that?
Are you okay? Wow. What would you say? That's beautiful, man.
Waller.
You can send me that first quote. Send me both. If you can send me both, that would be cool.
I think I might just put it up. That first one on my. I might just put both of them on my whiteboard. Man.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm also thinking something like that. Well, you know, what do we do, right? We've talked a lot about things going on in our mind. We've talked about feeling the weight of the world on our shoulders, about keeping the fire of motivation, about cynicism and optimism, I guess. About, I guess, maybe indirectly, even though we didn't say it, about, accepting the sacrifice, that accepting our choices, maybe, committing to a choice, committing to ourselves, complacence. So thank you for sending it. So I guess, for this week, oh, and now I think extremely important is that we talked about has been the importance of, I guess, yeah, we could put it as like, tipping the golden domino. But I think in this one, it feels more fitting to frame it as like how even the biggest things rest on the support of many little things, if that makes sense, because at the end, Earth is Earth and it's huge, but Atlas is just a man. And yet, and yet he lifts the Earth. And yet he does, right? Just a human, and yet he still lifts the Earth aloft. So, yeah, that's truly beautiful stuff, man.
Yeah.
Truly beautiful stuff. Yeah, for this week, I have 14 goals now. I had 13. Here are the 14 goals. I want to write this letter I think it'll do me good, and I think it'll do me good. Accept the sacrifice, right? That just means, kind of in the spirit of you, kind of, I've made a choice. I'm at Yale. I'm gonna finish, and I've chosen to finish. So accept that sacrifice.
Hmm.
Stuff in my to-do list, very important. Reading 5 hours minimum daily. That means daily. That means 5 days a week. I'm gonna try to go for more for sure, but I have a minimum. Which is good. Um, the zero. Just looking around, the zero wanks. I'll definitely. That's another thing that we didn't even touch upon that kind of takes energy away.
Hmm.
Drinking a lot of water, better eating habits, counting the cigarettes, creatine every day. I mean, it's just, I don't know if any of these really requires, elaboration other than maybe, the essential stuff, which is to
Yeah.
me, um, the gym. I didn't put the gym here because, I have my hour. I have a
Hmm.
time of the day already dedicated to that. But the little things, I guess most of this stuff is just little things. Maybe the letter is a big thing. The to-do list is another big thing.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's just the reading is a big thing. But and you know what? I think the manifestations, I think that's gonna be huge, man. I think I'm so embarrassed to admit that I completely stopped doing this.
Do you see my
Um, but yeah. So that's my week 14. Um, what will I do this week to keep it going?
One sec, Bossman.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll talk to myself a little bit here while Steven uh gives his phone to his mother. Um, I guess not be scared of lighting the fire a little bit, Even I was
Okay.
just talking to myself a little bit. I was just gonna say, not even the biggest things need not take over your life, your biggest priorities, you know. So yeah, that's my week. I think the manifestations are gonna make a huge difference. I think the gratitude journal is gonna make a big difference. Um, but I think, to really address what how about you give me a goal, right? Um, how can I keep my covenant the whole week? Because
Well,
I for the past 2 weeks I'll have good momentum up until a certain day, and then after that I'm like whatever.
yeah.
So
Well,
what
what's
would
your
you?
covenant? I mean,
My
are you
covenant is
aiming for
these
100%?
weeklies.
Are you aiming to just read? Are you? I mean, I don't know like
No,
you got to
my
concretize this.
my covenant is to be committed to accomplishing all of these goals. I guess the
Well, then
natural.
before, well, before, yeah, yeah. But I'm not going to give you I think necessarily the natural one. I think here's the thing. Like, is is everything on here serving you or your higher purpose in a way that you can like define to me like like is I don't want to like be a bad influence, but right, like count cigs each day, for instance, like is what's the rationale here? Is it one of these goals where it's like, oh, this is a goal that I should have, which I know sometimes we get
Hmm,
into, or is it
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
I concretely want to do this because like I'm going to feel better or something?
I think the overall purpose of this week maybe not great, but it is to for me to read,
Yeah. Okay.
for me to enable the reading.
So are you gonna so something like reach out to people and count cigs every day? And I don't know what's on your to-do list stuff, but
The
that
counting six enables me to smoke less.
Okay, but all you got to do is count them, right? Like you don't have to like say like I'm only smoking 3 or something like this, right?
No,
Just you count them.
no. And I know maybe that's a bitch
No, no,
goal,
no, this
but
is no, no. I'm happy. I'm happy with that.
to me, it
Yeah.
just enables me to smoke less.
Okay, no, that's perfect. I know. I
Reach
noticed that as well. When you're aware of it, right? It's like, holy crap! Today I smoked 8, and then it's like the next day you smoke 3 because you're like, what the fuck was that?
because I'm counting. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's what it is. Reaching out to people. It's becoming my resume, right?
yeah.
And I haven't even finished my resume. It's just something that I it's important, and I almost maybe there's a part of me that's like, hey, you know what? Just keep it there. Keep
Yeah.
it there, just so you don't lose it. You know, not a great thing. But I need an extra goal here. I need something extra. I need something that maybe I myself can't articulate. So, maybe it would be I would appreciate it if you gave me something, and maybe not something necessarily with the purpose of like getting 100%, although that should be always our goal. But I don't know, I guess in the same way that Ayn Rand asks us, what would we tell Atlas?
Hmm.
What would you tell me right now?
My wonder is on stay on no.
Instead of Jeopardy music playing in your head, it's Gregorian chants in a Gothic cathedral.
Oh, dude, I love the. Actually, I actually prefer the Orthodox gospel. You know, I listen to them non-ironically. But
Yeah.
um, look, what you're feeling to a large degree, not the particulars, of course. The particulars are always individual, but I think the broad brush strokes of what you're feeling, man. I've had to. I've been in a very similar boat, man, and it's always unclear. For a lot of the time, it's unclear how to deal with that, how to accomplish things when there's all these other forces kind of assaulting you, man. And even I felt that up until this week, dude. Until I restructured this week, man. This past week, right, to include to really try to live more, to change the frame of reference from I live to read to like I read so that I can go and live. I think that my version of that, the XG boosts of doing the you frozen. I know if you
No, 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 no. I can hear you. Can you? Am I frozen?
uh okay, now you're kind of okay ish.
Am I good?
Ish, yeah.
Oh.
That this week, really trying to live outside of the work, it helped. And at the beginning, it was hard to live because I felt like I needed to work, but it was hard to work because I wanted to live. But eventually, they came into some sort of equilibrium. This worked. This worked very well for me, man. And I can imagine the elation that you felt at the open mics.
Yeah.
So I would say, and it just, I mean, yeah, I know you have stuff going on. Your dad's help. Living situation. You don't have a space to your own to just like spend all day cooking and stuff like this. But I think if you could this week, and maybe I can concretize it in a second. If you can orient yourself so that you do the things that you need to do so that you feel good and can read, but then beyond that, you do not the things that you need to do, but the things that your heart tells you want to do. I think that would be, I think that would be so, I think that could help you a lot. And whether that's writing music or going on another date. Like, dude, this week I'm already fiending. Tuesday, I'm gonna go to the pinball museum and grind pinball. Like, it's like it's not even a
Pinball museum?
yeah. When I was with my dad on Saturday, we ended up playing pinball, and I had like some of the most fun that I've had in a long time. Like grinding pinball with my dad.
Nice.
We're gonna go to the pinball museum on Tuesday. This is not a lofty thing, right? This is not like a loft.
No,
But
it's
it's
not.
like, oh
Yeah.
my god, like so much fun with my dad. I know it's a Tuesday, but it's like I'm gonna get up, take care of all this stuff, so that at the end of his workday and the end of my workday, we can go do that. And then just
Yeah.
there's something to live for. If you can take this abstract stuff that we talked about, man, and like I don't know, somehow be Atlas, but then 5 p.m. comes and you go get your money, you put the work on, get your margarita.
Atlas on shift.
Yeah, be Atlas on shift, man.
I think that's the name of the episode, man.
Then this would be well, yeah, I don't know. I was already cooking episode names, and I really liked We Are Atlas, but Atlas on shift also goes hard.
It goes pretty hard.
We could be We Are Atlas in parentheses on shift.
Because I like it because it gives me this image of like this, worldly fucking struggle that transcends time and
Yeah.
body and history. And then it's like 5 p.m. and Atlas is like, all right, fucking.
Yeah. No, I
let's
think
go.
I think we found it, bro. I think we found it. I mean, yeah, it's hard for you to concretize this super well, but I think, dude, if your whole day is just structured
Well,
around the fact that you need to read,
give it to me
man,
in a sentence, though. Give me this goal in a sentence.
and yeah, let's see how to put it. Kindle your fire.
Okay, kindle my fire. It's open to interpretation, but I think
I
We
don't
both.
because I don't want it to be like, okay, kindle your fire daily, because maybe the fire doesn't need kindling every day,
yeah,
But
Right.
I think maybe I can make this even more concretely. Because what I started doing is, in some sense, I removed this. What I used to do is I used to schedule, like, okay, after I've done all of this stuff, X and Y and Z, then I'm going to practice piano. The day ends, I'm tired. I'm not even in the mood to practice piano, and it like doesn't happen. But lately I've just been like, holy shit, it's like 3 p.m. I have this like super big urge. I'm just going to like sit down with the piano for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So I want it to be like kindling the fire, but like taking advantage when that burst of kind of passion or inspiration
Yeah.
comes, you just seize it right then. You seize
Yeah.
it right then. So how should I say it? Like, how about this? Maybe something like, what? When you feel the heat, let the flame roar.
Seize the spark.
Seize the spark. I like this. Seize the spark.
And I also want to clean up my goals a little bit.
Yeah.
Actually,
I think that could be.
I'm gonna take out accept the sacrifice, because that's another thing of like, that's basically like the get 100%. It's like you only get that if it doesn't feel essential, right? It
Yeah.
feels secondary. So write the letter, to-do list stuff. I'm gonna take out reach out to people, because that is within my to-do list. I know it seems like a cop out, but I feel like if I just look at the do things in my to-do list, I will be able to get more
Yeah, that's
things
fine.
done.
I think we need to streamline this a bit.
Yeah, streamline, great. So no wanks. A lot of water per day. That's just been really good. Better eating habits. I mean, yeah. It doesn't. I don't know if I should keep it, because it's important, but I don't know if I need it there. Like, I'm conscious about what I eat. I'm gonna take it out as well. Not because it's not important, but because it doesn't require the energy of like seeing it on my board and writing it out.
Okay. Okay.
Counting SIGs, yes. Creatine every day, yes. Smiling more, gratitude journal, open mic, manifestation, seize the spark. That puts me at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay.
Okay.
That seems more doable. Let's talk about your goals. Seize the spark. I mean, I think it's one of those goals where I will tell you what that meant to me, but certainly not in a way so like at the end of the week I'll be like, oh yeah, I seized the spark right there. No, I will make a conscious effort for sure, because certainly I get a lot of moments during the week, even during the day, where I get overcome with a certain sort of passion.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go with you now.
Sure. I can just give you a quick idea of what I was thinking here, and then I
Yeah.
maybe want your commentary, maybe how to structure it better, and
Yeah.
maybe and a goal from you as well. So, look, there's a couple things I want to do, right? And maybe I could have reordered these goals. I want to make some money each day, as long as the opportunity is there, because why not? It's there. I should be doing it. And I want to just get this XG Boost thing sent off. It's not going to be a final product, but I just sent him something that we can have a talk about it, right? He said we can do that. I want to maybe try to do that tonight if I can, so that he doesn't forget about me. And then, yes. So in terms of other things to do as well outside of that sort of work related project and like literal work that pays, been sort of thinking as well that I probably need to at least dip my toes into other possibilities. There's other research institutions out here that look good and other teaching jobs that are possible. I feel like, I applied to this thing like 2 months ago, right? And I've just been like, oh, I'm on this train. I won't apply to anything else for now, so I can just focus. But this is silly. Somewhat, I want to be like focused, but I want to be allowing my mind to think about other possibilities a little bit. I'm not sure quite what to do about that. That's just a thought there. But let's see. Then I wanted to kill my fatigue, man. I just wake up tired, and I get tired during the day, and it shit just fucking sucks. But I don't want to be tired all the time, so I really want to take very active steps to fix that, because being sick sucks, bro.
I already know the goals that I'm going to give you.
Okay, good. Let's see. What is there? Take advantage of my surroundings and venture out. I mean, just having been on the adventures and stuff, my parents makes me want to do more small ones like museum, but also just like not working at home, like going to a cafe, just getting out of my house. I feel there's a sort of gravity here that kind of compresses me. And then I put this begin days with meaning. It's not actually important as important that I begin them, but that I make time to seize the spark. And then I wanted to.
So then change it. If what do you mean? If it's not so much beginning them,
Yeah, I think.
then
Yeah, I realized this after we spoke, that it wasn't the fact that I was beginning the days with meaning, but that when I heard a tune, maybe it was 3 p.m., that I went to work on it. So yes, I'll modify that in a second. And then I think I sent you also sketch plans for the day in advance. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. That just so that I don't get up at 11, don't know what I'm doing, and the day fades away. Right.
Yeah.
And then lastly, this one I kind of wanted to concretize: this crystallized thoughts, cultivate desires, and act. I guess this had a little bit of the flavor of the job stuff too, but also thinking about like, what can I do with my music? Like, what sort of bigger projects would I like to take on? Not just like I pop on Logic for 8 bars that I have, put it in, forget about it, go play piano, but push towards something a bit bigger. So this is the thinking behind the things that I put here.
Well, I just want to say, for this last thing, follow your own advice. You said, and we've talked about this plenty of times, about like, you try to do everything, you get nothing done. Don't overwhelm yourself trying to do everything. Choose one or two things to work on, even if it's just for this week.
Yeah.
But that's just a quick comment. Now, that all looks good. Okay, research orient behavior. You want to research how to kill your fatigue?
Yeah.
Do you actually need to research that, or do you already have a couple of ideas about how you could kill your fatigue?
I mean, I have some ideas, but you know, I
I
wanted
think
to
instead of
experiment.
researching how to do it, how about you try a couple of things?
Hmm.
That seems more, again, streamlined.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
hey, let me spend an hour, 2 hours this week researching how to accomplish this. You have some idea,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, I recommend magnesium as a nightly supplement. I've recommended it to you before, but I think it's worth a shot,
Okay.
just to improve your quality of sleep.
Yeah. I'm just gonna I'm restarting a new goals tab
Sure,
here.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. So
I'm
I
gonna
would
write this
say,
one down. Experiment with a few sleep slash uh fatigue improving
yeah,
things.
yeah. Send Martin a notebook. That looks good.
Yep.
Take advantage of my surroundings and venture out. I think you know what that means, and I think that's good.
Okay.
Begin days with meaning.
Yeah, we can
I
change
mean,
that.
it just sounded like you. That's not what it really what it was.
Yeah.
It sounded something similar to seizing the spark, really.
Yeah.
But
Maybe I'll just put seize the spark, man. I mean, I
yeah,
think there's a reason I gave you that advice, right?
yeah. Sketch plans for the day in advance seems pretty good. Now, the thing is, you're the king of ambiguity. Uh, Crystallize thoughts, cultivate desires, and act. I th- I get the feeling that this has to do with your creative pursuits, right?
Largely. I
Largely,
Yeah, I just and but also beyond it, how should I say? Like there's a big list of things in my mind, for instance, of things that I would like to do as well. And everything has been like sort of pushed
yeah,
off. And whether
for
this is
sure.
like, oh, I really wanted to go to like this rock gym in Berkeley, or I wanted to go Sunday to like play chess with these guys, or like I wanted to do this. And there's things that I've like wanted to do, flickered, and then they flicker out and they're forgotten. And
Yeah,
then there's just like no desires
I
because you
see.
always have a desire, you never pursue it. And then it almost feels like I stopped desiring things
Yeah,
because I don't take advantage. So I want like it feels so good to have like things to like want and look forward to. And I know, maybe Buddhism has something else to say about this, but like I'm like, fuck, dude, I really want to play pinball. So I like looked for that pinball museum, right? I found it and I'm gonna go with my dad. And I'm like looking forward to that. And I'm like genuinely excited about that. After the intervision, like genuinely excited to work on logic. So it's just like these things that all float around. I sort of want to bring them in and like just have things to look forward to, both just for
it
fun, but also
feels like
creatively.
it feels like the way to accomplish that, at least to begin accomplishing that, would be to genuinely seize the spark.
Mm,
How about you do another week of seizing the spark?
mhm.
Instead of trying to concretize, you might be jumping the gun a little bit. See what you
Yeah.
feel, see what feels right.
Yeah.
Don't force these re-encountered feelings into a sort of mold.
I also,
Sometimes you can't force to concretize things.
okay.
Okay, I am gonna give you two goals,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, because five feels too small, anyways. Yeah, go ahead.
One of them is selfish. The other one is gonna be interesting to see if you can accomplish.
Yeah.
Number one, you're back at home, right?
Yeah.
I want you to find the binder that has puddle.
Yeah, I know where it is.
Okay, great. I want you to just have it there and think about what it means, whatever that means to you. It's something that I put a lot of work into and that I finished. So if you want to start reading it, great. But even if you don't start reading it, just have it visually there
Mhm.
and think about what that means. Um, and then the other thing, this is the bigger goal. Are you waking up at the same time every day?
No.
Okay. Are you waking up like before what time?
Like 9 to 11.
Okay. So Monday through I guess Thursday, no, Tuesday through Friday, Saturday. Yeah, let's do Tuesday through Friday.
Okay.
Wake up. You're gonna go on a 20-minute run.
Okay.
20-minute run. I think this will do you wonders for your fatigue, for your energy levels.
Okay.
20 minutes. That's all you have to do. 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Send me those goals. I wish we could have a more prolonged goodbye, but my computer is about to die.
That's
So,
fine.
Atlas on shift.
Atlas on shift.
Great episode. Very long episode. Wow. No, it's 2 minutes because I re-recorded. Almost 2 hours. Okay, let's get on with the week. And yeah, Atlas on shift, man. We can lift the weight of the world. We don't need to do it all day.
Yeah, I like that, man. I think this is one of the greatest calls that we've had in recent
Yeah,
memory, man.
this is good. This is good stuff. All right, buddy. I'm gonna have a little sig. If you want to hop on the phone, up to you. If you have to.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
All right. Atlas on shift. All right, let me stop recording first of all.